Ring, 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 ring. Oh, that's my telephone. Hello? Hey, what's up? Oh, nothing. Just doing a little sweeping. Let me call you back once I'm done, okay? Alright, bye-bye. Throw up the W's, baby! Tigers win! Tigers complete the 3-game sweep at home over the Houston Astros. Let's go! Let's freaking go! I want to say another word that's not freaking, but I like to keep my videos PG because my little niece and nephew watch these videos, so I can't be cussing up a storm because then they will be cussing up a storm, and then their parents, my sister and brother-in-law, will be like, "Where'd you hear this language?" "Oh, Uncle Tony." I don't want to get in trouble for all of that, so we like to keep these videos PG. But you know what other word I'm thinking of instead of freaking. But that's beside the point. LFG, let's freaking go. Let's bleep and go. You get the idea, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Big time sweep for the Tigers at Comerica Park over the Astros. Let's talk about it. But first of all, I do have some housekeeping notes I need to take care of. Thanks so much, Roastar, for sponsoring this video. They got hot coffee, cold brews, chocolate, all kinds of great drinks and treats for you to try and enjoy. Visit our website, roastar.com. Link is in the description below. And if you find something that you want to try and make an order, you can always save some money on that order by using my code, TonyD. Shout out to Roastar and thank you once again to them for sponsoring this video. And also, if you all do me a favor, leave a like on this one. Comment your thoughts on this Tigers sweep down in the comments below. Share with all your family and friends. And please hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I very much appreciate it. That takes care of my housekeeping. I'll talk about the Tigers sweep over the Houston Astros from Comerica Park. We are going to put the broom off to the side here. Don't worry, we will get it back out towards the end of the video. I just cannot hold that broom for the entirety of the video. I would love to. Screw it. Give me the broom. We are going to hold it throughout the entirety of this video. Why not? We're going to hold it throughout the entirety of the video. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Well, screw it, man. Let's hold it for the entirety of the video because that is a big time sweep for this Tigers team against Houston. Now, at the same time, listen, I don't want to go too crazy because at the end of the day, it is still August. You know, for me personally, it's still a little too early to go too nuts after a win and after a series sweep for my Tigers for a baseball team. That's just me personally. You know, once the calendar flips to September, and then obviously especially October, that's when it's really go time. You know, once the calendar flips to September, that's when I feel like every game, every win, every loss really matters as we start to get deep into the regular season, as we inch closer and closer to October baseball, to postseason baseball. Yeah, that's when I really feel like it is go time. I don't think it's go time yet. So again, I don't want to go too crazy after these 3 wins against Houston and after this sweep against the Astros, but at the same time though, this is a big time sweep for the Tigers. You know, Houston is going to be one of those main teams that the Tigers are going to be competing with for one of those top seeds in the American League postseason picture. So to not only sweep them this week at Comerica Park, but with these 3 wins, we take the season series 2 against the Astros. Man, that's huge. That is so freaking huge, man. Big time series win for the Tigers, big time series sweep, and it was a fun series win. It was a fun sweep from Comerica Park as well. You know, the win on Monday, the Tigers, I'm going to use both hands really quickly. The Tigers took their belts off and did a little BTA to begin this series. You know, obviously winning 10-0, getting a shutout victory behind Jack Flaherty, who that was his best performance of the season, right? I feel like that is definitely his best performance of the season so far. We love to see it. And listen, we all know it's been an up and down season for Jack. There's no denying that. But hopefully that's the beginning of Jack really settling in for this season and really locking in as we get, again, as I mentioned like a minute or so ago, as we get deeper into the regular season, we inch closer and closer to October baseball, to postseason baseball. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come for Jack Flaherty because, man, if he locks in and is looking like that in September and especially October, That would be huge. That would be so huge, man. So yeah, shout out to Jack Flaherty. He was great on Monday night. And offensively, too. I mean, 10-0. 10 runs for the Tigers on Monday. Love to see it. Leading the way, big game for my guy Cole Keefe. He homered. Also with homers, Riley Green, Wenzel Perez, Trey Sweeney. A lot of contributors to that win, to that BTA performance on Monday night. Great way for the Tigers to start this series. And then Tuesday night's game was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of fun. You know, that game was on TBS. I hope that there's a lot of people not in Detroit and Houston, just purely baseball fans that watch that game on Tuesday night on TBS, a bit of a more nationally broadcasted game, because, yeah, that game was so cool. It's not just cool because of the fact that the Tigers won. Obviously, that helps, but it was just a great baseball game. And as one of my friends said to me during the game on Tuesday, and as I saw a lot of people also saying on Twitter, both during the game and after the game as well, like, that had some October vibes to it. That game is as close to October as you will get in August. I mean, that really did have some postseason vibes to it. The starting pitching matchup, Tarek Skubal, Hunter Brown, the bullpens both doing pretty well after their starting pitchers left the game too, and then the walk-off in the 10th inning. The crowd was into it all night long. That just felt like postseason baseball. And the weather too, it wasn't like hot and humid and sticky like it has been in Detroit, Michigan for the past like month or so. It's kind of been feeling like fall a little bit outside, you know? That was the case on Tuesday night, at least I think so. I wasn't outside Tuesday night, I wasn't at the game. It might have been a little hot and humid. All I know is that it rained. I don't know what the weather was on Tuesday night. I wasn't paying attention, but that's completely beside the point. The point I'm trying to make here is that game on Tuesday night had a lot of October vibes to it. That felt like postseason baseball. And to inevitably get the win in that game that, again, just felt like postseason baseball, that for me personally was just like, oh, I'm itching a little bit after that one. I'm really ready for postseason baseball. I'm ready for October baseball after that one. Yeah, that was great. That was a really fun watch on Tuesday night. Tarek Skubal. Man, Tarek Daniel effing Skubal. What am I supposed to say about Tarek that we don't already know? He is... Call him Braun Breaker because the dogs were barking in Detroit on Tuesday night. He's a dog. Call him CM Punk because he is the best in the world. The best pitcher on the planet, doing his thing yet again in that game against Houston. 7 scoreless with 10 strikeouts. Dog. Best in the world. Best pitcher on the planet. I said this before in a previous video, I'll say it again right now. It's the truth, man. You know, he is such a special player, such a special talent, and the fact that we get to watch him here in Detroit on every 5th day, it's a treat. It's a treat. Don't take it for granted, man. Don't take it for granted at all. Make sure that you enjoy every second of Tarek Skubal pitching for your baseball team in the Old English D. It's a treat, man. It is so special to watch him pitch every 5th day in that Old English D, and that was the case once again in that game against Houston. And then the bullpen after Tarek. You know, first of all, Kyle Finnegan, speaking of dogs, man, he has just been so great since joining this Tigers team at the trade deadline. He's been great, man. He has been so good for us. That was the case again on Tuesday night. And then after him, Will Vest. That's becoming a nasty 1-2 punch in the back end of our bullpen. Kyle Finnegan and Will Vest, they've both been great for this Tigers team since the trade deadline, since they became that 1-2 punch that, you know, I imagine Scott Harris was envisioning for the back end of the bullpen. That's been the case so far, man. After Kyle Finnegan, Will Vest came in there through not 1, but 2 scoreless innings. The 9th inning to keep it tied and eventually go into extras. And then the 10th inning, man, maybe the most impressive, because obviously there's that runner on second base, the Manfred runner, the ghost runner, whatever you want to call it. The runner on second, nobody out, and Will got out of it. The runner didn't score. Will Vest, Kyle Finnegan threw up a combined 0 out of the bullpen on Tuesday night. Absolutely huge. And then offensively, listen, I'm not mad at the offense for putting up a 0 throughout the first 9 innings of the game because it is Hunter Brown. You know, it is the Astros bullpen. I'm not mad. It is what it is. That's what made the game so great on Tuesday night. The fact that it was just such a pitcher's duel between Hunter Brown and Taylor Skubal. And then, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, the bullpens as well, keeping it tied at 0 going into extras. But then the 10th inning, the Tigers finally broke through. Bases loaded, walk for Gleyber Torres. That was so cool, man. Gleyber's been great for this Tigers team this season. Sure, he's been a little bit quiet over the last few weeks or so. But, man, for the most part, he has been great for this Tigers team. And to see him come through there with the walk-off bases loaded walk, so great. So awesome. Gleyber seems like such a great dude. You watch his post-game interview after the walk-off and just seeing the smile on his face, man, it was awesome. That was so cool. Shout out to Gleyber. Great win on Tuesday night for the Tigers. That clinched a series win, but then we got the sweep with another big-time win on Wednesday. A 6 spot in the first inning. This game was over just like that. It was 5-0 Tigers before we even recorded an out. It was 5-0 against Framber Valdez nonetheless, too. That first inning, that's what really gives me a lot of hope that the Tigers are good. You know, we had our struggles for a little bit there, but that's what gives me hope that the Tigers are back and that we're good. The fact that we put up a 6 spot today in the first inning, because that's something we saw a lot of in the earlier parts of the season. The Tigers just starting the game with a bang, with a big-time punch, scoring a lot of runs in the first inning of ball games. That's something we did a lot of in the earlier parts of the season. But then during that, little cold stretch there, that's something we weren't seeing at all from this Tigers team. So to see us once again put up a big spot there in the first inning and really start a game with a punch, that gives me hope that the Tigers were good. We had our cold stretch there, but hey, listen, everyone was freaking out. But I was kind of thinking to myself, man, just take a deep breath. It's baseball. This team is too talented to just crumble right here, We're too talented to just fall apart. The season's over right here. It's a long season. It's baseball. It happens to even really talented teams like the Tigers. Look at the Dodgers, man. Even the Dodgers have had kind of their struggles this season, too. Los Angeles isn't freaking out, not that I know of. They shouldn't be, because that team is still really talented. They're really good, but that's completely beside the point. Shout out to my LA friends. You know what I'm saying here. It's a long season. I was kind of thinking to myself while everyone was freaking out about the Tigers' struggles. Long season. We'll get it figured out. Here you go. The Tigers are hot once again. And as I said, I'll say it again right now. That 6 spot in the first inning. 5-0 before we even record an out. That gives me a lot of hope. And almost like a sigh of relief in a way that the Tigers are back and we're good after that cold stretch there. Dylan Dingler and Javi leading the way for the Tigers offensively today. Dylan Dingler had a double and a triple in this game, and Javi had 2 hits and 2 RBIs as well. And then pitching-wise, shout out to Uncle Charlie, man. Uncle Charlie, another good outing for him today. He, along with Kyle Finnegan, he's been pretty good so far in the Old English G. I know he had that one bad start, but other than that, more good starts than bad. Definitely more good starts than bad, and say it was another good start for him. 6 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. Shout out to Uncle Charlie, baby. Let's go, Uncle Charlie. If you can't tell, I'm a big Uncle Charlie fan. A lot of people were not happy with the Tigers did at the trade deadline. I didn't make a video talking about it because tensions were high. I didn't want to get yelled at for coming in front of the camera and be like, I actually kind of like getting Kyle Finnegan and Uncle Charlie more. And I didn't want to be that guy, so I just didn't say anything. But in fact, I liked adding Kyle Finnegan, and specifically, I liked adding Charlie Morin. Dude, he's like, 40, 41? He's still pumping 95, 96, upper 90s, He's Uncle Charlie, baby. He can still go. He can still go. And for the most part, we have seen that so far in the Old English D. Good stuff, Charlie Morin. Good stuff, Tigers. Yeah, man, as I've said multiple times already, I'll say it again one more time right now as we close things out here in this video. Phenomenal series. Call us AJ Styles because that was a phenomenal series. Great series win. Great series sweep. And as I said earlier, you know, I don't want to go too crazy. I know I'm going nuts right now after a sweep in August, but as I said earlier, that's still a very important series win and series sweep for the Tigers because of eventual playoff seeding in the American League. It's going to be, you know, probably Tigers, Blue Jays, Astros, and then probably some other teams like the Mariners and Yankees will be in there as well. But the Astros are going to be one of those teams that we're competing with for playoff seeding in the American League. So to get the series win, to get the series sweep, and eventually, all in all, win the season series against the Astros with this sweep, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Great job this week, Tigers. We have an off day on Thursday, and then the Kansas City Royals are coming in town this weekend for what is going to be another big-time series. Let's keep it going, baby. Let's keep it going. I have to put the broom down so I can give the Tigers a round of applause because they deserve it. Great job this week, Tigers. Let's keep it going against the Royals. That's all I got for you in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it as always. As I mentioned earlier in the video, leave a like on this one. Hit that subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, as always, go Tigers, baby.